I am pre-filming and I have not pre-filmed this many videos in such a long time. It's only like 3 videos, but I can't do it anymore. I don't know how I used to do this when I was 15. Like, I would honestly film like 10 videos in a day, but now 3 videos tires me the fuck out. Hello there, it's Samantha. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Today I'm coming to you with a book tag. I haven't done one of these in a while, and today I'm coming to you with the Nope Trope book tag. This was created by Zoe from You're a Book Nerd, Zoe. Hello, it's me from a couple days later. Literally the day that I filmed this, Zoe renamed her channel and it is now Zoe's All Booked. So I just want to pop in to say that it's not You're a Book Nerd, Zoe. Her channel is now Zoe's All Booked. It was just like literally the exact same day I filmed. She changed to the name and I was like, okay, that's all. Back to the video. I will link her channel down below and I definitely suggest you check her out because she is hilarious. And basically this tag, there are some tropes and then there's a question to go along with the trope, and these are all tropes that she hates. Let's just get into it. I'm really excited about this. So the first question is eavesdropping with miscommunication. Name a book you heard great things about and expected to love but ended up hating. Oh, for this one I'm going for Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I heard nothing but good things about this book for years. So many freaking years. Everyone raved about this book. So many people adore this book. And I read it and I was like, really? I ended up giving this book a 2 out of 5 stars and I fucking hated it. It was so boring, and the main character Scott was just like the worst. I just didn't care about him at all, and there was way too much stuff about his life. The ending was just like, what the fuck? Like, give me a real ending, please, because that was just, it felt like a bit of a cop-out, to be honest. I hated it. I really hated it. Question number 2 is for the trope love triangles, which I don't hate them all the time. Sometimes they're done well, but I do agree that they are fucking annoying. And this is name a series where you can't pick your favorite book. So for this one, I'm going to go for, I mean, I talk about this series all the fucking time, but okay. I'm going for the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. I have expressed my love for this series so many freaking times, but I adore it with all my heart, and I really cannot pick a favorite. I do think Thunderhead is not as good as Scythe and The Toll. Those two are definitely like my top 2, and Thunderhead is like definitely number 3 for me, but I really can't decide between Scythe and The Toll. I think Scythe is just such a wonderful setup, and then The Toll was just like, it wasn't the ending I wanted, but it was how it needed to go, I think. So yeah, all 3 of them are just fantastic books. If you haven't read the Scythe trilogy yet, do it, please. Please. Question number 3 is not like other girls / didn't know I'm beautiful. Like, you know, when people are like, oh my god, I'm so ugly and plain, and then all the boys are like, oh my god, so woon, she's beautiful. And that is name a book that has a pretty cover but was boring as hell. And for this one, I'm going for Into the Crooked Place by Alexandra Christo. These are books that I've all mentioned recently, but they're fresh in my mind. And Into the Crooked Place sucked. Into the Crooked Place was just one that I really did not enjoy. This book was compared to Six of Crows, which is another series that I don't like. And it also has pretty covers, but I found it boring as hell. But because I enjoyed Alexandra Christo's first book so much, I really thought that I would love it despite being compared to Six of Crows. I didn't. And I think I really need to stop reading books that are compared to Six of Crows because I do not like Six of Crows. And so, like, whenever I read something that's compared to it, I also tend to not like that. So I need to stop reading those books. Anyway, question number 4 is all-consuming love. Name a book that gave you a book hangover. I want to go for something I haven't spoken about yet, but no. For this one, I'm going for another one that I've mentioned recently, so I'm sorry about that, but this is like my most recent favorite book, and that was The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I read this in May, and I absolutely loved it. It broke my heart. And I think it also didn't help that this was like the first book that I finished in May, and then every book I read after that, I was just like, this doesn't compare. Nothing else I read this month can be as good as The Book Thief. I cried a lot while reading it, which doesn't happen frequently. It was just so beautifully written, and I hadn't read a historical fiction in quite a while, so I read this and I loved it. I loved it so much, and it reminded me that I need to read more historical fiction because I fucking love it. Question number 5 is douchebag boyfriend. Name a book that took you a while to get into, but you ended up loving. For this one, I'm going to go for An Ember in the Ashes by Salva Tahir. I really need to continue on with this series actually because I've read the first and the second book, but I haven't read the 3rd book yet, and I know the 4th book is coming out later this year, so I do think I'll be doing a reread of it later on this year. I read the first book for a book club, and I remember reading it in Spain, and like it took me like a little while to read it. I was just not that into it, and then it like hit a point where it just changed, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I ended up really loving it. I really love the world she created, and I just really need to get to the third book because I need to be prepared for that fourth book to come out. But if you know what this book is about, this follows our main characters, Leia and Elias. And Leia, her family was part of the Resistance. It's in this like alternative Rome setting, and basically her brother was taken prisoner, I believe. And it's been such a long time since I've read this, but I'm pretty sure her brother gets taken prisoner, and so to try and get him back, she tries to infiltrate this military academy where Elias is. And Elias is basically training to become a mask, but he really doesn't want to. And masks are the like military in this world. Their paths cross. I really love this fantasy series. It's just so well written and I just love it. I really love the setting and I love the characters. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I do not talk about this series enough on my channel, so I am going to rectify that because it's so freaking good. And the final question is, tell us your favorite or least favorite trope. I'll tell you both. I personally like a lot of tropes. I love hate to love. I love friends to lovers. I love just so many tropes. I also hate some tropes. One trope that I hate is when characters just don't communicate, and that's like kind of the catalyst for all of the strife in the book. I'm like, no, just fucking communicate and then these issues wouldn't happen. Anyway, that's the tag. I forgot to tag people when I was filming, so I tagged Elena from Elena the Great, Melanie from The Bookish Mel, and Deja from Deja's Book World. But that is all that I have for today's video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below and check out the description for links to how you can help the Black Lives Matter movement, because it's really important that we continue to support it in any way that we can. I'll see you next week with another video. Bye. The next, oh my god, my neighbors are sneezing. One of the like fiercest, we're going for most fierce. Fierce. Okay.